Thank you, Ms. Taylor Zellner, for the introduction. Again, my name is Sara Reed, and I'm honored to speak to you all today. This opportunity could be used for many things: anecdotes, the accomplishments of our class, memories, the send-off. I will attempt to cover all of this, but I want to start with a story. We spend so much time reading stories in the classroom that we can't help but think, what is our story? Now, how do I start? I could start with bookends, beginning freshman year with the daunting question, what is the meaning of life? And ending senior year with, how then shall we live? Or I could start with once upon a time, all an 8th grade girl knew about high school came from movies and tales from older brothers over dinner. Tales of freshman history and language teachers who became almost mythical in her mind. Would it take the course of an epic tale of heroes rising up against CIF giants, bringing home flaming banners and every avenue of conquest? I think we all remember the victories celebrated in van rides home and together at In-N-Out, our version of a victory feast. Would our story look more like a fairy tale, with odd but beautiful themes that seem to flicker inside of us like the candles at storytelling night? Whether it be a field trip to a park where we frolicked with butterflies, or when our chariots burst into flames, barely arriving home safe after a treat, we all have some strange stories to tell that have ultimately brought us closer. What would the climax of our story be? Grand trips around the world? The records we broke in the classrooms and out on our respective fields, courts, or stages? Or the quiet of a full moon, broken by the sound of 60 voices defiantly singing, "Forever young, I want to be forever young." Maybe there would be no grand climax to our story, just a continuous journey with new dragons to slay, new mysteries to uncover. Maybe the climax would be a walk along that beach we see every day, a quiet walk, acknowledging, learning, and appreciating all the goodness the Lord has left for us to discover, like treasure in the sand. Somewhere in our story would be that unspoken wish we all have had, the question we all wonder and ask ironically out loud, but with complete sincerity in our hearts. Can we please go run through that field just once? I love that purple, white, and yellow flower field. All of these memories, all of these lessons learned and relationships formed have been blessings. Our story has been a blessing. I am reminded of Psalm 16:2, which says, "Apart from you, God, I have no good thing." When I reflect on all the goodness in our story, it is clear that God has indeed been very present with us. While I never felt much connected with Beowulf, believe me, it is the last book I would have expected to reference. I cannot help but feel we too have completed our quest. In our young days, we had to make a name for ourselves. Somehow we became upperclassmen, rising into leadership, and now we have become the white-bearded keepers of the kingdom. We've seen immense change. Our first dragon to slay was taking classes at Coastline before transitioning to main campus. Cue Handel's Hallelujah. It seems so long ago. So much had not happened yet. Looking back at those freshmen, I laugh to think about what we have been able to accomplish and what we have had to face. But we could not have done it without the help of our guides. Like Virgil leading Dante through the afterlife, our teachers, board members, families, and this supportive community have taught us and allowed us to learn for ourselves. I would like to say thank you to my family, who has given me the opportunity of this journey and who has held my hand through the highs and the lows, leading me here. Though we move on, the kingdom falling into new hands, our mark will stay. One day, maybe our names will only exist beneath the founder's table, but our time here will always be a part of a greater story. We now have the esteemed privilege of joining the ranks of Pacifica's alumni. As T.S. Eliot wrote, and as many of our Instagram captions say as well, "In my end is my beginning." We can't help but apply that principle to this commencement. This milestone really is the start of something new. A new way to be a part of the Triton family and new journeys that we will have to embark on. But we have become who we are today together. We have discussed, cried, lived, mourned, and rejoiced together. We have become more of who we truly are and more of who the Lord is making us into. And we have celebrated together. That is one thing we Tritons do very well, celebrate. Class of 2025, whether you are going 10 minutes down the road or 10,000 miles across the globe, let's bring the life we have found here with us into this next season. Let's laugh until we fall out of chairs, dance because it brings us joy, do new things, as many of us have done here. Get on new stages, talk about theology until the wee hours of the night under the stars. This is what makes our stories so enjoyable to live out. Though we will never stare off into that field past room 208 in the middle of a discussion about teleology again, those memories can live in our hearts. I'm not sure if I will ever discuss alongside such interesting people, or explore the natural world with such curious ones. But I will surely try. Our story can remain in our memory and spur us on to the new stories we all have the chance to live out. Ones in which we can be an anchor of truth, grace, love, joy, and peace. And may the Lord be with us through it all. Thank you.